Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Kickstarter video where we're going to be talking about Runeslingers The Awakening, a new TCG that just hit Kickstarter not too long ago. This is their website where you can get a lot of the information about the card game. We're going to be just going through the Kickstarter and going through the website like we have been with many of these Kickstarter videos. So let's go ahead and get started here. So on their website, they're just going to have, all the basic things about the game. They're going to have a video where, someone's talking about it. They're going to talk about their card game here. So let's go ahead and read this. Runeslingers is a collectible trading card game featuring unique turn-based combat, strategic deck building, and a classic collectability. Runeslingers is designed to be a competitive card game players can enjoy from the comfort of their kitchen tables. While Runeslingers was designed with collectors in mind, which is kind of an interesting tidbit there. First and foremost, our focus has been on developing fun and balanced game mechanics that create memorable moments for our players. So essentially what they're saying there, I guess, is they wanted to have these cards be more of a collectible, and then they, kind of honed down and got the gameplay right, so that's good. Gameplay, you are a runeslinger, a wielder of magical incantations called rune spells. You are welcomed to the annual Fete, a rune-slinging tournament that will test your magical abilities to their limits. Combine rune spells, chants, boons, and trinkets into your own unique 30-card deck. Choose and equip your Runeslinger with a stance and ability. Be the first Runeslinger to reduce your opponent's power from 5 to 0 to claim victory. Check out the rulebook here. So they do have a rulebook on the website. In terms of collectability, Runeslingers The Awakening base sets will feature 270 collectible cards, including at least 162 unique cards, 54 alternate art cards, and 54 star foils comprised of cards from all rarities in the base set. When a card is minted as a star foil, it will never be reprinted again in foil. So it's kind of like cold foils from Flesh and Blood. You can kind of view it as a reserved list kind of card, so that will add value to it. We reserve the right to reprint foil cards with a different foil pattern as a special promo or rewards for events in competitive play. To learn more about card rarity and pull rates, click here. So they do include essentially percentages on what is the pull rate, what can you expect in essentially however many booster packs you may open. So that's kind of cool that they do include that because not a lot of games do that. So I do like that they have done that. Sales, we've chosen a hybrid business model that is direct to consumer and business to business in order to provide the highest level of customer service and experience. Customers can order and have an event kit delivered directly to their own homes for organized play. Become a local distributor and receive discounts of your own. To learn more, click here. So that's a little bit confusing on my end. Does that mean as just a normal player, can I buy an event kit and start hosting events? Or, can I just hoard promos and stuff like that if this gets any sort of high value to it? I'm a little curious on that. It'd be interesting to be able to hold my own events because I'd love to do that personally with some friends of mine, but I would like to know a little bit more about how they would plan to maybe hold players a little more accountable from just holding products and then maybe selling those promos. But if promos hold no value or anything like that, they're just supposed to be given out or they're reprinted or anyone can buy them, then obviously it's not a problem. But then again, kind of reduces the collectability of those promos. So I'd be interested to see what that means. Organized play, using the Runeslingers Event Manager app, REM, development pending. So essentially they're supposed to have a phone app where you can kind of join organized play. Players will be able to book and run events from the comfort of their own homes, including draft, sealed, and constructed formats of play. Earn points for participation, as well as awesome prizes for winning. Each booster box of Runeslingers will contain a sealed box topper with 3 unique rewards that players can distribute how they wish as prize support for their own tournaments. So that's kind of cool, and it kind of maybe gives a little more information as to what I just asked. I still want to know, how that's supposed to really you know, I don't know. I just want to know more about their, you know, idea for anyone being able to run organized play. But it does kind of, you know, encourage more people to potentially pick up the game with just friends versus like, you know, an LGS kind of setting. Although I would like to see more support for LGSs from TCGs. That's me personally. But I do like the idea that anyone can run events if that's the case. Social media, obviously they got their Discord link here, Kickstarter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So if you're interested on following them on all of those are the links here. And finally, they also have a Tabletop Simulator Mod that allows you to play the game with up to 4 players. So if you want to just try the game and see what the game is like, you can definitely do that completely free as long as you own Tabletop Simulator. And then, you know, if you join their Discord, you can be a part of their community and ask for games just to be able to try it out and see if this is your kind of game. So let's go ahead and jump to their Kickstarter here. And let's watch the intro video that all these Kickstarters have, and we can just kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and watch that.
The long-awaited fete is finally upon us. Traveling from the northern reaches of the Cowl Drifts, from as far as the Eye of Galdoon, Runeslingers make their way to this annual Tournament of Champions. Here the Hexmancer strikes with poisons and nightmarish machinations, corrupting the minds of her foes with delusions of insanity. Roman the Striker has mastered the Void. His unblockable attacks seal away his target's resources, rendering them useless. He has mastered rune bending, enchanting trinkets with magical powers that grant him speed, endurance, and unmatched strength. Eva the Rune Seer wields the egg of the last dragon. Summoning flames from deep within, she grows more powerful with each passing moment. Flaming tornadoes sear her foes, while she pummels them with a ceaseless barrage of fireballs. Wielding a massive shield, Mia draws strength from his indomitable defenses. Mia knows no blow he cannot defend, no wound he cannot heal, and no light he cannot bend to his will. Runeslingers is a 2-player card game designed to test even the most analytical gamers. Choose your Runeslinger and customize it with a unique stance and ability. Master Runeslinger's genre-defining ailment system. Combine 30 rune spells, trinkets, boons, and chants into your very own deck. Collect and strategize with over 216 unique cards. Schedule and run events from the comfort of your own home. Clear the table. Gather your friends. And back Runeslingers on Kickstarter today.
So, I will have to say, just like the other Kickstarters, I would have liked to see the creator of the game kind of come forward and, you know, be a creator and just say, hey, this is my TCG, this is why I need your help, this is what I dream of for this game. I love that kind of interaction. Just having a video like this talk about the game is great, but it doesn't give, like, you know, a face to the trading card game like some of the other Kickstarters have. And to be fair, a lot of them don't do that, so it's fine. I just like to see the creator kind of come on and, you know, see what his story was and how he created this game and things like that. So as you can see, I have backed this Kickstarter, but that's personally because I think the game does remind me of, obviously, my favorite game right now. So it kind of, you know, scratches that itch as being maybe an alternative to that TCG. So I just went ahead and backed it. And especially if this gets a lot of traction, you know, I'll fully love to just have events that I can either host or go to. So let's go ahead and read the Kickstarter here. So this is going to be kind of similar to what's on the website. So nearly a century ago, ancient runestones awoke, revealing themselves to the world. A rare few called Runeslingers are gifted the ability to commune with rune stones. When a Runeslinger communes with a runestone, the rune's power is granted to the Runeslinger in the form of a rune spell, a magical incantation of great power. Now this is just like a quick video showing just some cards in a binder, so you can kind of get an idea of all the art and what the cards will look like. Now, one thing I will say is, it doesn't necessarily have like a full art framing to it, but it kind of has like a framing that is a little bit different. So like it's going to have frames based on the element of the card or what the card is supposed to be. So that's kind of cool that each card has like its own framing. I would have liked to see full arts, but he does say obviously on the website that there is like some alternate arts for some of these cards. So it wouldn't be out of the question, I'm assuming, to see like full art cards in this set, especially for the Alpha Kickstarter. So here he's got Runeslingers hunt far and wide for runestones that lie hidden across the world. The Fete is a celebration of the year's discoveries. It gathers runeslingers from around the world to showcase their skills and share tales of their discoveries by the fireside. So the lore-wise, the Fete is supposed to be essentially kind of like a get-together for all these runeslingers that are discovering all the runes of the world, and they kind of share their discoveries. So I can see the Fete being like their organized play name for the big tournaments, which is kind of cool. I like that they're kind of centering it around the lore of the game. Why Runeslingers is special. Runeslingers is a competitive card game designed for gamers by gamers. Players can easily combine cards however they like and equip their Runeslinger with a class-specific stance and ability that can dramatically alter their playstyle. So based on the video that was shown, you can kind of see that this is a champion-based card game, very similar to Flesh and Blood. So you'll have a character that you can choose, but in this game, kind of, similar to equipment in Flesh and Blood, you can augment how that hero plays. So imagine, for my Flesh and Blood players, imagine being able to change the card's text on a hero to, 3 or 4 other choices. I think that's actually a really good way to keep certain heroes playable, because they can just, print new abilities for that hero and keep ones that maybe are out of the meta within the meta in later expansions. I do like that idea. It also creates completely different deck builds for certain heroes based on like what kind of stance or ability you're going to play with those heroes. But let's keep reading here. Turns require strategic decision making, and game's victory between experienced players can often come down to 1 or 2 strategic moves. Runeslingers has 4 unique Runeslingers within their own with their own class-specific skills, over 185 unique cards in the base set, combined 30, so that's the 30 is the deck size, 2 copies max into a deck, an ailment system that is unlike any other card game. It is unique to Runeslingers. So this is supposed to be kind of like, essentially one of the selling points of the card game is every spell you're casting, every attack that you're doing, at least most of them, is going to affect your opponent in some shape or form. So I've seen like one ailment is called weakness. And what weakness does is it essentially mills your deck every turn, which is, something that is, interacting with you in a different way. So kind of similar to, Magic the Gathering, you can block attacks, but if you don't block an attack, you have to think about how it's going to affect your turn style. Because, for instance, if I have 4 weaken ailments on me, I'm going to mill 4. So that can, definitely change the way on if I want to block an attack that's going to cause weakness to me or take damage. So I really like its ailment system. And I'm, kind of curious to see what, further ailments will do or what the current ailments do in the game. A power system that acts as a pseudo catch-up mechanic. So the way the power is supposed to be is you essentially have 5 matches within one match. So it's like best out of 4, best out of 5 essentially. And you have 20 life per match. And when you lose a match, your power goes down from 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you hit 0, you lose. But for every match you lose and your power goes down, you gain something called determination, which can allow you to use your hero's abilities, which can then turn the tide of certain matches, because you'll get access to something that you can essentially use to swing the tempo in your direction. So that's kind of cool. Pledge tiers, obviously you're just going to see like, a dual deck that you can pick up, booster boxes. If you're a brick and mortar store, you can get the founder tiers. He talks about promo booster packs. Let's keep going. So it looks like there's obviously, some add-ons that you can do. They've definitely hit a lot of their stretch goals. So if you were to back it, you get a promo, the Blinding Flash. You get some backer full art hero cards, and some other rewards as well. Let's keep going down here. So you can actually see a breakdown of how a hero card looks. So each Runeslinger starts an encounter with 5 power. When it's gone, you lose. So essentially within the card game, they do have a system of, like I said, best out of 5 games, which is really good in my opinion, because it doesn't let you think that, oh, they just blew me out of the water. No, you get 5 chances to an extent to be able to beat your opponent. Your Runeslinger character card represents you, the player on the field. This is your health. When it reaches 0, you lose a power and reset your health to 20. This is your Runeslinger's class. Oh, okay, so I can't see what it says. It just says Runeseer Runeslinger. Okay. Customize your Runeslinger with 2 equips, a stance and ability of the same class. Stances are permanent effects, while abilities require determination to use. Each Runeslinger has a block value. Prevent this much damage when you block. So, cool, right? Anatomy of a card. Each Runeslinger starts an encounter with 5 power. When it's gone, you lose. This is the name of the card. Obviously, Bloodthorn is a defense card and can be both targeted and destroyed by damage. If Bloodthorn is dealt 3+ damage in a turn, it's destroyed. So I don't have to read all this. You can read it yourself. But that's the idea of the game, obviously, is you got a hero. You can customize that hero. You have a deck of 30 cards, and that deck is going to, be augmented, essentially, how you equip your hero. So moving on down, they're going to have some gameplay videos. Sebastian Nadell. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. He is the creator of the game, and he owns Valley Mage Games. Wow, I can't talk today. And so he is the creator of the game, and it looks like if we go down here, this is the breakdown of the pull rates. Like I said, kind of cool that they have that. They're going to have full arts, star foils, exalted cards, kind of like legendaries and Flesh and Blood. And it has a breakdown of what, the booster box has. Let's keep going down here. And then, gives you shipping costs and essentially just everything that a Kickstarter would give you on, how the game is going to be and what they plan to do after release. So, my thoughts on the game overall. Runeslingers does kind of seem like an interesting game. Now, like I said, I'm a fan of it just because I'm a big fan of Flesh and Blood. Obviously, this channel is very much based on Flesh and Blood, and this game does give me a big, vibe of Flesh and Blood and is similar to how it's played. It does have unique mechanics to it. I do like that you can customize your hero. It seems like it will be a very interesting game to jump into, especially if you can hold your own events at home. That's definitely another unique thing because it's usually based on LGSs, although I am interested to see what Sebastian would have to say on how he plans to further support local gameplay. Because, for instance, if I'm holding events at my house for my buddies and I'm paying for it or we're all pitching in for it, what's encouraging me to go play at my local game store unless they can get completely different kits. Now, if they have something separated where like normal players can do an event kit, but they only are able to get a certain kit versus a local game store that can get their own unique kit, then that will encourage definitely you to hold events as players and with your buddies, and then local game stores to pick up the game to do their own events as well. So I'm interested to see what this game has to offer more in the future, especially, which is why I backed it. But, if you plan to back it, let me know down in the comment section. Have you even heard of this game? You all have 36 hours left. Well, 35 hours now. The game is fully backed, so this game is going to come out. hopefully. But let me know down in the comment section below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to support my content, and I will see you in the next one.